Hello everyone and welcome to CityWorks. I'm Valerie Starn. Today we're going to talk about the many ways in which cities support local families. Joining me now is Gina Noon, Supervisor for the Westminster Family Resource Center. Welcome, Gina.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Gina, tell us, what is the Resource Center? What do you have to offer?
We have so much to offer. We are a collaborative of community partners that functions as a family-friendly one-stop shop for families in the community to come and get connected to resources and services and anything that's there to support their families, whether it's a time of challenge, a crisis potentially, or also just coming to see what's out there and ways that they can provide support to their family.
That's a big umbrella. Let's break it down
Sure.
a little bit because you do so much. You mentioned families in crisis. Obviously, that's a family that's going to right away be reaching out. You're a one-stop shop, so it doesn't necessarily matter what the crisis is. You're the phone number to call, correct?
We absolutely try our best to be what every family needs in the community. We assess their needs with their input and determine what are the best connections to services within the local community. We utilize our funded partners that we have, other community partners that we work with. Each family gets assigned and gets the opportunity to work with a family support specialist or a case manager, and they really just sit down and talk and see what's going on, what are their areas of need, what are their priorities, how can we keep the kids happy and healthy and safe, but also supporting the adults in the household too, because we know that support for the entire family is what's going to help that family get through whatever the challenges that they're going through. So we, as I mentioned, case management, we also have parenting classes, counseling, we do free medical and dental visits, we have health and education workshops, life skills workshops. We work with other agencies to do things like family banking and art for healing. I mean, just a little bit of everything. And we try to always meet whatever the needs are. And if it means something new, we go out and look for something new also.
We're trying to get a lot in because, again, you do so much. Give us an example. A family comes to you and give us an example of a situation they might be in and how you help.
Sure. I mean, we get a lot of referrals from the Westminster School District. They have definitely the connection to the families, and that's oftentimes the first stop that families will go, and then their next stop is always call WFRC. So they might come to us and let us know that they are struggling with having enough food for their family. Either they just aren't making enough, the food stamps that they receive maybe just isn't stretching out through the whole month. We see that a lot. And so we look, what can we do? If they're not already receiving CalFresh, that's one of our very first calls. How can we get you connected
And what is
to
CalFresh for people that don't know?
CalFresh is the state-run food stamps. It used to be called just food stamps, and now it's called CalFresh. Also WIC for expecting or new mothers or dads with their babies, of course. And then if they already have that, or once we get them connected, what are the next steps? Are there local food banks in the area? Are there hot meals that are being served? But also, what are the other ways that we can alleviate some financial stress on the family so that they can make sure that they have food on their table?
How do you go about that? We would all like to alleviate some financial stress.
Don't we all? Yes, of course. I mean, we reach out, we call our community partners and we say, you know, what's going on. But maybe counseling is, they're going through some personal issues and they need some support with dealing with that and addressing some of the challenges that are going on. So counseling works. They might need some medical or some dental help, so we get them connected with that. Parenting classes talks about budgeting and how to support your family and get the kids the things that they want and need, but also in a smart way. And so it's really just like, how can we wrap around this family? How can we get them the things they need? Looking at what their basic needs are, what their most important needs are, which maybe it is food at that time or some of those other kind of real core necessities, but also how can we wrap around and get them all the other supports that they need too so that they can live a happy and healthy life with their family.
You mentioned your parenting classes. I think parents hesitate to ask for help, but all of us, anyone who's been a parent,
Definitely.
we all need help. And there are some basic ideas and principles and techniques and tricks and tools that are learned in a parenting class that makes your life easier. So, you know, for a parent out there that's hesitating, what would you say?
Parenting classes are for everybody. You said it just perfectly. Those that feel like everything is going great and those that know that they're having a little bit of trouble. The great thing is we offer parenting classes for a variety of different family situations. So we utilize different community partners and we have classes for families that have younger children. We have classes for families that have teens, those that are maybe engaging in some more at-risk behaviors. We have classes for parents that are co-parenting. healthy marriage and families, where that class looks at how, as adults and parents, how are you modeling behavior, and can we strengthen your relationship first so then you can turn around and be the best parents possible for the kids. But we just try to let families know that this is just about strengthening your family. It's not about finding things that are wrong or nitpicking. It's just about strengthening your family so you can have the most positive and productive family life and community life there is. Plus, it's a great way to engage with other members of the community, share stories, share challenges, get input from others
And
as
I
well.
would imagine make new friends of people
Definitely.
in same or similar situations that you can then go forward from the class and work together.
I mean, the Family Resource Center is a community center at its core, and so it's a way to bring the community together, whether it's around support services, maybe a fun family fun night, a movie night that we're having, but it's really just a way to bring families together, because ultimately that is their strength. When they're done receiving services from us, when they say, okay, we got this and we're gonna move on, it's about who their support network is around them. And it may still be us, and they're always welcome to come back and see us again, but hopefully they've also connected with some other community members as well to build their strength.
A lot of people are familiar with parenting classes, but some of the classes that you offer are very unique. You mentioned banking, you mentioned art. Talk about your more unique ways in which you reach out to support families.
We really take our cues from what our families come in and ask for. We work together as a staff team to say, what have you heard lately? What are the phone calls we've been receiving? We talk to our community partners. What have you guys been getting? What are your families asking? And then we go out and we try our best to offer that service. So the banking workshops, we've worked with a variety of different service providers, and one of them was a family class where adults and kids, parents and kids, got to work together to understand finances. And
Is this money management then?
it can be money management. They also talked about saving, opening a savings account and a checking account, how to do that, how to assess your wants versus needs and prioritize so that your money can be stretched and still get the things that are of value in your household. We offer a class through a partner. It's called Art for Healing, and it's a therapeutic art workshop where we've done it for adults, we've done it for kids, we've done it for families, and they just get to come in for 2 hours. They get to kind of paint their feelings, and we've got really great feedback on that class. But we also do classes for parents on how to talk to your kids about development and the changes that are happening in their life and in their body.
A tough topic for a lot of families.
Exactly.
How do we do this?
How do we do this? We've talked to parents about how to keep your kids safe, and what are things to look for in healthy relationships. We talk to the kids about that specifically, but we also talk to the parents on how can you engage in conversations with your kids to support them to look for and participate in healthy relationships. So we do a little bit of everything.
You're not the only family resource center in Orange
Correct.
County, but you are one of the first?
We are one of the first. We actually are one of 15 family resource centers throughout Orange County that's all part of it's called the FACT Network, Families and Communities Together. We are grant funded by the County of Orange. Each one offers the same core services, but how we offer them is a little different, unique to our community. We all offer things like counseling and case management and parenting classes, domestic violence support and services, but we each utilize different partner agencies, and we engage with our community differently so that it's unique to the families that we serve. It's a really great network. We all really support each other. We look at what the needs are countywide, and then we focus in our local community about how we can meet those needs.
And the strength of your center has been an example to others. That's great that you've been able to lead the way. All right, so how can the community help you? What do you need to help you continue the great work you're doing?
We really just want our families to know that they can come to us. Come to us on maybe your worst day, but also come to us on your best day too. Come and participate. We offer a lot of fun services as well. We do have a home workout program for kids. We do lots of fun things around the holidays, and a lot of our classes are not just challenge classes. They're also just come and learn something new. So first off, we want our families to know that we're here for them. Second, to support that mission, we are always accepting of volunteers, and we encourage our community members, if they want to get involved and give their input. We do have a community engagement advisory committee that advocates on behalf of the community to us about what they need, and then also lets the community know what we're doing as well. So it's advocacy on both sides. We do have a basic needs program where we provide emergency assistance to families. So we do always appreciate donations of non-perishable foods, diapers, hygiene supplies, things that we can turn back around and give to those families when they come to us maybe in a crisis or right on the verge and say, I really need this and this will help me get through this really challenging time.
All right, volunteer opportunities and donations always welcome. Thank you, Gina, for sharing.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
And we'll be back with more City Works right after this.
You can never know which pool safety step will save a life. Until it does. No matter how safe you feel, adding multiple safety steps can mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Welcome back to City Works. I'm Valerie Starn. Joining us now, Jessica Escalante. She is the coordinator and supervisor for the Family Resource Center, the Oakview Family Resource Center in Huntington Beach. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Valerie.
Give us an overview of the services that your center has to offer.
Absolutely. So we provide parenting education support services for the families, the children. We do our best to link them to different programs so they can thrive in their community. So those are some of the services that we have.
Your service base is Huntington Beach. You're a
Yes.
large community with many different needs. Let's talk about for any family out there that might be experiencing a difficult situation and thinking, well, it's not a crisis, so I shouldn't call the resource center. What would you have to say? What are some different situations that, yes, you should call?
Yes, definitely. At any time, a family that is inquiring some help, or whether it is because of some type of trauma that they experience, or maybe they just lost their job, or looking for different programs, whatever situation their experiences, definitely come to the Family Resource Center. We're right in the heart of the community. We're in the middle of the Oakview Branch Library and Oakview Elementary School. So definitely they can find us and come to us, and regardless of their situation, we want them to come to our center. It's a one-stop center where regardless of their need, we're here to support them.
I don't know if any of our viewers have ever been in this situation, but when you want to call 911 but you're not sure, is this an emergency? You mentioned trauma. What are some traumatic situations that you want families to call where they might not even realize, yes, it's okay to reach out for help?
Exactly. So one of the things, for example, is if children are experiencing abuse, or for example, they've been abused they just found out, it's very hard to deal with when a parent just found out that their child has been abused. What do you do? And so come to the Family Resource Center. We provide support for the family, for the child, and just kind of give them those coping skills to go through. And maybe a lot of times they're not ready to make a report, but they still need that support. They still need that comfort, someone to talk to, and just kind of guide them through the experience and educate them on what their rights are and what's out there. So definitely those are some of the things that we can support with at the Family Resource Center.
I'm breaking down a situation where it seems like it's abuse. They can come to you and let's figure out whether or not this is a situation where there needs to be some action.
Exactly, together as a collaborative. And we also have a family support specialist that's with them the entire time as long as they need. And through our family support specialist, she has different resources available. And as a collaborative, we work with different organizations. For example, Boys and Girls Club, Western Youth Services. We work with Ocean View High School, different variety of schools throughout Orange County that we can definitely link the parents and give them that connection and that warm handoff for them to feel supportive. And with that time, they'll be able to deal with they'll make the choice what's best for them at the time.
You reach out to families in crisis, but again, defining crisis. So if, say, a single parent loses their job, do you consider that a family in crisis?
Right, so it depends. A crisis, it can be a variety of things, right? And whatever the crisis is for the parent, that's our crisis for us. It can be whether they lost their job, or it can be for where they're so anxious. It's summer or it's the fall, and what are some of the, I want to link my children into a program. That can be a crisis as well. So we just provide support all around, and really give them what they need, whether it's counseling, whether it's linking them to a program in the community, or maybe they just need to know who their school representative is. We provide that information, and that alleviates the stress on the family, and that really helps them to really support the children and the families, and really focus on what's important to them at the time.
How do families find you? And again, keeping with the theme of you might not realize there's help for you, because you might be in a situation thinking, this is life. Life is hard, and some families, they want to be able to handle things themselves instead of getting help. How do the families come to you?
So there's a variety of different ways. Like I said, we're in the heart of the community, so a lot of our referrals and a lot of the people that know about us is through word of mouth or through the community. But now we're expanding. We're providing services throughout the school district. You can go to your school district, any other schools, and ask about how do we contact the Oakview Family Resource Center, and they'll be able to contact us through there. So there's a variety of ways that they can contact us.
You offer a variety of different classes,
Yes.
everything for classes that are designed for toddlers to fathers. You've got it all. So talk about your dad's program.
Yeah, so we have a Dads Matter program through Children's Bureau that we're so excited to have, and they really focus on father figures, whether it's father, stepfather, grandpa, uncle, any father figure that's involved in the child. And they have a class where they support the family as a whole. And they come into the Family Resource Center once a week to get some education and support. We provide childcare, food, dinner. So it's a really great program that supports the whole family and really supports dads. And they get linked into with a case manager and resources. And so as they move on in the program, they develop friendships and support. So it's a really great program for the dads in the community.
And a number of other support groups. I know that you have something unique. First-time college-bound teens. Tell us about that one.
Yes, absolutely. So we have we're starting a support group for them. As we all know, starting college, it's always a stressful, especially in a lot of our teenagers now are first generation attending college. And so there's so much anxiety and worry and stressors and the pressure of going to college. So we have a support group, ongoing support group for our teens, or for now young adults, now they're not teens, young adults, and really give them that coping skills and that support. So to alleviate that stress and really focus on their education and succeeding on their goals of being in college.
Support group being a place where you can join with others in similar situations and address those issues. You also have a women's support group.
We absolutely do, and both of our support groups is really focused on really empowering them as individuals that are thriving into their community. And our women's support group, it does the same thing, and it's through another collaboration that we have through Interval House. They provide once a week on Tuesdays at Oakview. They get together and they really talk about how to better themselves, get to know them, and really empower them as women in the community.
Now, you also have a Youth Action Council. Is this a volunteer opportunity for youth, or is this a program for youths that come to the Center for Services, or both?
Well, yeah, so it's very tricky. So, but one of the unique things about our Youth Action Council, it's a group that is composed of middle school 8th graders all the way to senior, and it's a group with different children from different schools. So you have Marine View, Mesa View, Vista View, Ocean View High School. So they all come to Oakview Family Resource Center and really get together and learn leadership skills and how to support the community. They support us from being volunteers in our Christmas events, in our back to school event, anything that we need. For example, even covering our front desk, because they're always there. They're very informed about our services, so they're there to support us. So it's a very great program, and because we have that and we have that really closeness with them, when they begin to talk to us and really express their need, at times they'll let us know about what they're going through. And if they're going through some type of stressor or they need something, then we'll also help them and support them with a family support specialist that we have.
For our viewers, how can they help you? Do you need volunteers to help with the different programs that you have?
Yes, absolutely. It takes a collaborative to do the amazing work that we have. We have weekly food distribution that we have a variety of volunteers that really come together and help us and provide food for the community. That's one way you can help us. And also through the holidays, you can sponsor a family, or you can provide back to school supplies, or there's a variety of different ways that you can support. Just connect and come to the Family Resource Center.
Well, Jessica, thanks for joining us and sharing all the great work that you do.
Thank you.
You're a wonderful support for Huntington Beach. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And that's going to wrap it up for this edition of CityWorks. For any information about all of the resources we've talked about, just go ahead and visit your city's website. It's all there. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on CityWorks.